The G7 countries have reached a major agreement exempting US multinational companies from a new global minimum tax. This side-by-side tax system lets the US tax its own companies without interference from other countries. The agreement is being seen as a big win for President Trump's administration. Our report explains what this deal means and how it could reshape international tax rules.
In what is seen as a major victory for US President Donald Trump, the G7 countries have agreed that US parented companies will be exempted from a global minimum tax imposed by other countries, something Trump was pushing for long. The US companies will benefit from side-by-side solution, meaning US will apply its own tax rules alongside the global tax rules without double taxation from both the US and foreign countries. According to G7 statement, a side-by-side system would fully exclude US parented groups from the undertaxed profits rule and the income inclusion rule in respect of both their domestic and foreign profits. In major points highlighted in the G7 statements, it said US companies won't face extra taxes from other countries. Under the side-by-side system, big companies based in the US won't be taxed by other countries under global tax rules. Everyone will work to keep the system fair. The G7 agrees to watch out for any problems like companies avoiding taxes or getting unfair advantages, so the rules stay fair for all. The global tax system will be made simpler. As they build the side by side system, countries will also work on making the overall tax process easier for companies to follow. It will fix how credits are treated. Some tax credits are not treated the same under global rules. The G7 wants to make this more fair and consistent so it's clearer for everyone. The G7 statement also recognized that removal of Section 899 is crucial to this overall understanding and to provide a more stable environment for discussions to take place in the inclusive framework. The US Treasury said on X that this side by side approach would preserve important gains made by jurisdictions inside the inclusive framework. The Treasury Department said that following the removal of Section 899 from the Senate version of the One Big Beautiful Bill and consideration of the success of qualified domestic minimum top up tax implementation and its impact, there's a shared understanding that a side by side system could preserve important gains made by jurisdictions inside that inclusive framework in tackling base erosion and profit shifting and provide greater stability and certainty in the international tax system moving forward, the G7 announced. We look forward to discussing and developing this understanding within the inclusive framework. Nearly 140 countries struck a deal in 2021 to tax multinational companies, an agreement negotiated under the auspices of Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. That agreement, deeply criticized by Trump, includes two pillars, the second of which sets a minimum global tax rate of 15%. As global tariffs capture the world's attention and the G7 countries exempting US as part of the agreement, it remains to be seen how other nations will respond. Siddharth Bhardwaj report for DD India.